Hey guys, welcome back to Hobbiton Zoo, and today we're gonna build something new. We're gonna build the Giant Anteaters habitat, which is from the new South America pack, which Bo from Frontier was so nice to give me a copy of, so thank you. So I can get in and get some more stuff built in our little zoo here. You saw in the last video where I did the scorpion and insect house. What I wanted to do with the rest of the zoo here. And that's kind of like what you're gonna see me do. So this area that's come next to the red pandas and to the insect house, there's this little mid-section where there was this super plain area, as you can see here. Here I'm making the habitat, and it's gonna be like some sort of a viewing platform again, which I have done over at the tapir habitat. I know I am really liking these sort of round circle-shaped roofs, but I feel like that's kind of like what I can do and what can fit into the Hobbiton world, if you know what I mean, sort of. So today we are making a custom roof, which is probably it's a nice custom roof I do today, if I have to say it myself. Really happy about it, and it can definitely also feel that this roof is gonna be about 2,800 pieces or so. So I don't know even if this build will be a blueprint, because I feel like I have lots more pieces in this than only for the roof as well, since I also do all the way around. But mainly what I do today is not really focusing so much on the habitat itself. I mainly just focus on the viewing platform, as you can see me do here. So while I'm making a first part, and then I'm kind of like just figure out a way to make it a circle all the way around this platform here. And then afterwards, I am adding some glass around it too, and so on and so on. So it's a long video today, guys, since I hit the groove here in Hobbiton Zoo, and I'm super happy about it, and also how this build specific ends up looking. I'm really happy about it. But yeah, I'm using these East India brackets here to make the roof, and then I'm making like a sort of little roof shape, so it gets this sort of curved angle and not super aligned, and that gives it that more fantasy-esque feel to it, if you ask me. And also, I'm not really using so many of the new pieces. I do use the temple pieces, as you can see here. I did use a little bit in the start here, try to look at them, and my goal was to make sort of this viewing platform and then have the temple pieces underneath it to give it that more of a rustic structure and feel to it. And I didn't want it to mix everything together at once, because it's still very new to me, all these new pieces we have, which I didn't really know what to add for and in this zoo for now. So I'm just trying to use one piece at a time, figuring out what I can do with them, because we all know that even though they say you can use this piece for this, well, we might use it for 10 other things, so everything is kind of like just for now. I do really like, after I do this, that it gives such a nice vibe to it as soon as you come from the red panda habitat too, and just walk around. So you have the pandas on the right, and then you get the giant anteaters on the left. And then the more you go, then you end up coming to the insect house, and then you're basically back in the center of Hobbiton Zoo, or the Shire, or what we can say. So here I'm using the new pieces here, as you can see, making a little ruin wall, trying them out, and oh my god, guys, the texture on this so freaking good. This is insane how good these temple pieces looks. I'm just blown away by how good that texture is on it. Wow. Well done, Frontier. And I'm just so hyped about playing Code 2 whenever that will come, because that game is gonna be so much better than Planet Zoo. Yeah, I'm just super stoked about just the thought of how good that game will eventually be when it comes. Man, it's gonna be dope. But I did some stuff inside of here too. I added this Monsieur Fritz shop, which in some way or another, I feel like the shop might be a bit random Because why would you have something in a viewing platform, kind of like looking over some animals? But I feel like that I don't really have so many shops in here. So I felt like if I could add something in here and make it look super cool with it, with the building itself, then I should just go for it. So that's what I'm doing. So the building in the start might look a bit random, just being there in the middle without any detailing and whatnot. But that will be better. You guys will see me do some interior and whatnot inside of here too. And I kind of feel like after I did that, the shop fits more better here. And it's also kind of nice that you can eat, but you can also just go watch the Anteaters if that's what you want while you're eating. And there's like room for them to eat, and you can even go around where you don't need to look at people eat too, and so on. And I'm also, as I said, making glass around the viewing platform, so they will not be able to like throw stuff down there or nothing. They will be inside here and they can't do anything. So the Anteaters will still be safe of people not throwing all kinds of crap down to them. So yeah, I'm doing some different stuff today. I'm trying out some different things. Like besides this, I'm also making a little, like from the path itself, a platform there too, making it look more integrated with each other and just making it look more real and organic, you know, because that's kind of like my goal I want to do with this build, and also just like the entire zoo for that matter. And as I say, I know I have a lot of these circular buildings and such, but I just feel like if it works well for the Hobbiton, I don't want to make square buildings. I don't want to make like buildings that are maybe a little bit crooked here in the Hobbiton Zoo. I just want to have a nice atmospheric vibe all the way you go around here with colors and lush environment and small cute animals and so on and so on. And after I build this here, I feel like that maybe, just maybe, that the tortoise might be a good idea to have at the other side where I told you guys about. But then again, I'm not sure I can go again with something circle and round at that too. I feel like I need to make something completely different. Because I really want the tortoise here in Hobbiton Zoo as well. So maybe I'll add those. Or maybe I'll figure out something to add. Maybe llamas, that would be cool. Maybe that will be in the Rivendell section, since they are sort of white. So they will match perfectly with the white buildings we're gonna do for the Rivendell section. That would be a thing. I'm not really sure yet about big animals. Maybe we should have one superior animal, you know, like the superior, the king of the zoo. I just don't know which kind of animal we should be, because we have all the cutesy animals like now. So I don't know if we should have like one that is just, like I said, the superior one that everyone want to see. They come to this zoo to visit this particular animal. I don't know. I'm just brainstorming here. But if you guys have ideas, then let me know. I really want the giant pandas, because pandas, man, they're like just so freaking amazing. They're so adorable, even though they're huge. But yeah, that would be something very cool to have for sure. I'm not sure if it's like in the superior league of animals, but it's definitely a bigger animal than the 8 ones we have here in the zoo. We actually already have 8 animals. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. I feel like I've been building a lot on this zoo here, but I'm not really adding so much stuff. It's just a lot of building stuff, right? But I'm kind of liking that stuff. So you have seen me do some stuff all the way around the habitat here. I'm actually adding animals at like the last part of the video, because I feel like I really needed to finish off the habitat here and making it look super cool before I did that. So what I'm doing here is that I'm making this sort of little entrance for the keepers that goes below the path inside to the habitat. And I'm actually kind of happy how this turned out too. It's super, super cool. And it does just look like it's supposed to be there. It looks generic. It goes well with the nature. And yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. I did struggle with it in the start. Like, how can I make this look pretty? Because it didn't look super well now. But I do end up adding some support to it, and then some rock work and logs, and then it looks way better. Like, it's more integrated into the terrain with the rocks, etc. So I'm super happy about that. Only thing, if I have to say a few things about the South American pack, is I feel like, as I said, the texture on some of the pieces are freaking amazing. I mean, I'm definitely not complaining. The textures they put into this game are unbelievable, if you ask me. They are so good. And it makes things just look 10 times better. So, awesome work there, Frontier. Only thing I do miss a lot also with the Arctic pack, I don't know if you heard it in the video with Sylv 2 when we talked a little bit about it, that the clutter section, we really need a lot more clutter. Because I think about, there's a lot of these things like the Arctic pack in particular, the pieces like the Viking pieces, the Nordic stuff, it's nothing really crazy you see in a theme park already. So if they have that in mind with the clutter, that clutter isn't that important because you don't see that as much, then I would say no, because it still goes well with the other things. You need the clutter, you need it to make it feel alive, to make it look personal. And I feel like we are lacking so much of the clutter in the Arctic pack and also in the South America pack. I know it's a priority thing, it's what you prefer in a pack, but personally to me, I miss that. I feel like this pack was mainly animals, pillars, and new wall sets. And I feel like this clutter you see me place down here now, I feel like they could have added a few things. So it's just not the same clay pots and crates we are placing over and over again, because it's getting tiring. But that's my only little nitpicky thing about this pack here, if I have to say something. I was hoping, but maybe next time. After I've built the center of the habitat here, I'm starting to add the glass pieces around it. And that was quite of a struggle too. So what you're going to see me do is that because the glass didn't really fit well, I had to like go in and move all the pillars and whatnot. So you don't see the white bar in the middle of the glass. So that took some time too. But I did manage to get through it. As you can see here, moving every single bit here to make it look super cool. But after I do that though, the building itself looks way better after that. So I'm super happy that I did it that way. Because I mean this texture on these temple stones, guys, freaking amazing. I'm just super stoked about how good they can make things look in this game, and it just gives me so high hopes for them in the future. Still though, as I also mentioned in the Russian reindeer reserve video, that I also think still mention it, that if you place too many pieces next to each other in this game, the game just doesn't like that. And I could feel that immediately after this build. I was 100% sure that I was gonna get a crash at some point, and I also ended up getting one. I didn't lose any progress, but I did end up getting a crash. I can just feel it with this game when it runs, when it gets this sort of bad optimization when it runs after you added all these sort of pieces in. But it just doesn't make sense to me, because I've seen a lot more people adding tons of more pieces into their park or their zoo without having any issues whatsoever. So I don't know, maybe it's just my rig, or maybe I have just in bad luck when it comes to this. But I do have my struggles with it. Also now I'm getting that I had in the beta. I don't know if you guys remember me mention it, but as soon as I built a habitat using the terrain tool, adding a rock, then I have this sort of 2 or 3 second freeze where I just have to wait for the game to kind of like to just figure out that, hey, I placed this piece here now, I want to move on, but the game is just too slow for that sometimes, and it annoys me a little bit because the progress of that is just super slow, you know. So I kind of like I had to go out once in a while and just take a breather, because it really annoys me, and I don't know why the game still does that. It's been out for over a half year now, second DLC, and it still does this. It just shouldn't be. That's all I'm saying. It's kind of it bums me out a bit that the game still has its flaws on this section, on this part here though. But it is what it is. It doesn't take away the fun of building. I still like to build. But if it comes to it, that that making zoos is gonna be like that. The more you add into it, then it's just not zoos that I'm gonna make. Then it's mainly just blueprints, or maybe a small habitat or two. But anyways, I'm coming to the top of the roof here now, as you guys can see, where I'm adding more tiles, more brackets to this. And the more I do add here, the better it definitely looks. Because I'm trying to use this sort of angled piece from the Arctic pack, you can see, with the white-gray half arch thingy. And I'm super happy about that, how that turned out. Especially now here too, where I'm taking the tiles and I just copy paste it all the way around, and then I'm filling up the holes where it needs. And there you go, you can see already now that having this sort of little bubble roof, oh man, it looks so good, especially here in the Hobbiton area. It really looks fantasy-esque, it looks super cute, it looks small, and I really like how that it looks. So doing some interior here, just covering up the tiles inside, so the inside of this thing here looks cool, and you don't see all the bad tile work on the backside here. So yeah, I'm trying to operate up a bit every time, so everything kind of like just gets a little bit more different look to it, and it's not all the same you guys are watching me do here. Because we are 12 episodes in, and it is a lot of the same stuff I've been doing, but I still do try variate it a little bit with some stuff. And since we now do have the giant anteaters, why not try and make a habitat for them? So that's kind of like what I'm doing, guys. But I might go back in and do some more stuff in the habitat for them. But I just feel like now I built for like, I think this was 7-8 hours of recording back and forth here that I tried to add into this video. So I needed a break. And then maybe next time I go in, I can maybe go in again and fill in some of the gaps I have and redo some of the habitats we have all the way around the zoo, which I feel like could use a little bit more love, especially the doll sheep habitat. That could definitely use a little bit more polish for sure. And we don't even have any rides in here either, right? Maybe we'll do that eventually when the park is done. Or zoo is done. Maybe we can try add something that will make it look like they can go around and stuff. Maybe a train. I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of options. But yeah, doing the interior now. I didn't really know what I was gonna do with the shop here, but I felt like, what if I do this sort of little, I don't know, funny style looking thing where it just looks like this on the front, but then it looks totally different on the back side. So when you see it from the front, it feels like it's this kind of building, but when you turn around, it's actually just some sort of a little facade, or how you say. And I'm happy how that turned out too. And then I'm gonna place some bushes, some flower beds and stuff. I'm trying to make this area inside here too very cozy and nice, decorative too, so people can watch animals, get something to eat, whatever they kind of please here. So that's super cool. I'm really happy about the end result here. But yeah, as I said, guys, about the pack, I'm always super happy when we get new stuff. I was just hoping that we would get a little bit more of all this clutter and stuff, all this small, minor detailing that we can use, that are good for us, that we can kind of like that we like to use. Because I feel like sometimes the minor detailing is what makes the build look good, for me at least. It's the pieces I can use to make it look alive, to make it look like someone is here, or just to give it a nice atmosphere, a nice vibe. And I feel like when I don't have so many clutter pieces, it's very difficult to do that. Though one piece I am happy on that we got, it's the rope bonding things. It's kind of like these rope clutter things here you can add on the pillars, and I really miss those. But I'm super happy we got them now. So you will also see me add those on the pillars that are pulling out from the build itself on the outside, because it really gives a nice touch to it. If you ask me, really cool, and it just gives that extra feeling of it, that it's like something put these together with these sort of ropes and such. So I'm happy that they added those like 10 different kind of rope styles in, so you can add that to your pillars or poles. It's really cool. It just gives a little bit extra touch. When I'm getting back into the interior here, I was raising off the floor here because I didn't like that you could see where the path were going. And then also the benches looks a little bit more better now when you have that on. I'm using the Indian stuff because I feel like they fit better in here. Because the big Nordic, Arctic benches and such weren't. I wasn't a super fan of them when I tried to place them down there. So, but I'm kind of happy how this actually ends up looking compared to that. The shop itself is a little bit funky in that way that. Like the way it built, and then when you turn around it looks totally different, but I kind of like it. It kind of like cheats the eye a bit, and it's super cool. Afterwards, I'm trying to freshen up the thing in here. I do end up deleting some of these flower beds I'm placing, and also I place some lamps and such, but I'm not really feeling so much what I could do in here. Because as I say, I really do miss the barriers that we have in Planet Coaster, where we can actually control the guests' flow on where we want people to go. And if we place like a flower bed here on a path, then we can place a barrier there too, and then the guests will automatically walk around. It just doesn't make sense to me that we still didn't get that barrier yet. Because we don't want to go old school and place barrier and place bins as we did back in the old day in Planco, to kind of like get the people to know that you can't go through here because you just can't. So, but yeah, we're coming sort of to the end here now, where you can see me adding the first Anteaters here, and they look super cool in game. I have some cinematic shots afterwards where you guys can see. But as I did say in the start, that I'm not putting so much effort into the habitat itself. It was mainly the build this time that I was focusing on and wanted to be 100% polished. So I'm just placing some trees, just making it look so the Anteaters are at least happy of where they live. I had struggled with making a shelter for them. I don't know if they just don't use shelters, but I did place or build a few shelters for them, but it just doesn't register for them as a shelter. So I don't know if I have to make it bigger or not, but that's another thing I can do in another video. As I say, I'm mainly just making this to have some Anteaters walking around and just to get the vibe going and to see how things looked the more I added into this. I didn't get a chance to look at so many of the new foliage, but I did use some of the roots they gave us. The vines, as you can see here, man, they're so cool too. As I say, textures in this game are just beautiful. I can't really put anything on that. And here I'm placing a few rocks and such, just making it look super cool. As you guys can see here, I thought this would work as a shelter for them, but apparently it doesn't. So I have to go in and do some stuff to this habitat at some point. Because as you guys know, I already built for like 7-8 hours here. So I just thought that maybe I should just cut it now. And I don't know if you can see around the glass that some places I changed it up with the wooden wall set, you know, kind of like the jungle-ish wall, to make it close in some of the glass, so it feels like that there's wood, glass, wood, glass, wood, glass, wood, glass. Because I didn't feel like placing the new glass itself. I might as well just use the habitat glaze, I was about to say, and then just do it that. And here I don't know what it was, but this guy just didn't want it to place where I wanted him to place, so I dropped that, and instead I'm placing these Termite Mounds, or what they're called, which looks super cool as well. I might have made the habitat a little too big for them, but you know, I like to make the habitats big for the animals I do in this zoo here, so they have lots of space, lots of areas to roam around. And yeah, I just like that animals have lots of space, because we wouldn't like live on small grounds either, so it should make sense for the animals as well. Here I'm making just a custom ladder, nothing fancy. I just wanted a ladder there quick to make the illusion of the keepers or whatever can go onto this little platform here, and yeah, you know, just the extra illusion of it. And I actually also built this to make a little extra shelter too, but again, they don't feel like using this as much as shelters too. But it is what it is. But as you can see here, I am doing making a little stairway here to make it feel like that the keepers or whoever can go down here, feed the animals, or just look at them, you know. Lots of options, but I just feel like that this little extra addition here makes the build look super cool, and it just gives that extra thing. And then I'm cluttering up with all the same pieces, you know, the clay pots, the Indian stuff, and what there is that I haven't already placed down in this park zoo. Sorry for the park, guys. I'm planning coaster player, so I keep on saying park. So if you ever hear me say theme parks, then I do mean zoos. Okay, it's very confusing sometimes when you have to mix it up a bit. But anyways, now you know. So don't sit all confused if I say theme park, because I do mean zoo. But we are very close to the end here now, guys. As I said, it was a little bit of a long video today, and also if the speed is a little bit too fast, let me know in the comments down below. I would gladly put the speed a little bit down for you guys, because I do have crazy movements with my hands. So if that's a thing, let me know. But now, as I say, guys, we're at the end here. There's not really so much more that I'm doing, actually. Just polishing up, editing the last bits everywhere, and just making it feel super generic and cool. I have not made a sign for it either. I might do that, make a little, you know, arch that they're going into the Anteaters here, or maybe I should just not, because it does look cool not having it there and just having an open platform. As you can see here, I'm adding the ropes here to the bits I was talking to you about, and these guys are so freaking cool. Some of these pieces, oh man, do I wish we had those in Planko. But Planko 2, guys, whenever that will be. Planko 2. Afterwards, I am slowly just adding to the walls here and making some more terrain work, putting some rocks around, just making it a nice little habitat for the Anteaters. And as I say always, guys, if you got suggestions, ideas, feedback, whatever you guys have, please let me know. I answer all you guys' comments, and I just love interact with all of you guys. So please don't hold back. Just say your opinion in the comments down below, guys, and also your ideas. My goal here, as I said, is mainly to close off Hobbiton, so we kind of like get this park or section out of the way. I might save it as a zoo file, so if the Rivendell is gonna turn to shit, or the park is gonna start dropping like crazy with frames and whatever, then I still have Hobbiton Zoo, just the Hobbiton Zoo to go back to, or just to upload as a separate park. I'm not super fan of uploading something half done, even though it's for your guys' pleasure. I rather just want things to be rather finished than adding like parts of it. So like section 1, section 2, section 3. Yeah. So that was just one little thing there too. But I gotta say, the roof itself, I am so happy on how the roof ended up looking here. It is worth it, even though I lost a few frames, and it is for sure worth it. And I feel like even though I have all these sort of circle round viewing platforms or houses, I still feel like I try to build them differently every time, giving them more of a unique feeling, like where this guy has more of a bubbly shaped head. It gives that more Hobbiton vibe, this roof particular. Where the insect house is more, you know, elvish, Hobbiton. It could go both ways. But then it has the Hobbiton colors, you know, the strong colors. And then we have the tapir enclosure, which is more of the start of the, like, that's the startup platform we did in the beginning. Which I might go over and do some more stuff too as well, because when I look at it now, it definitely needs a little bit more polish as well. But yeah, I think of all the platforms, this is definitely the best one I've done so far, also interior wise, and I just feel like it's such a good vibe around in here, and I would love going in here, looking around on the Anteaters, and maybe even get some fries while I'm doing that. That's a cool thing, right? This section here, I'm mainly just gonna add trees and rocks and such, just enclosure it in, because I don't feel like I want to add anything on the right side here. I just want it plain with some trees and all that stuff. We are at the end here now, guys. I'm just doing the last bits here, as you can see, adding some railing inside. It looks super cool from the outside to see the railing, and from the inside it just adds that extra little realism to it, if you ask me. So, guys, girls, leave your comments down below if you have anything you want to share. I would love to hear them, guys. And stay safe out there, and stay awesome as always, and give the video a like if you think it deserves it, guys. Enjoy the cinematics. Have a great day, guys. Bye.